Ostrander. He joins us on the Farm Bureau guest line as he does each Monday afternoon. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team, Mississippi Farm Bureau. Coach, on the road this weekend, Lafayette, and what a series. I mean, the game, a one-run loss in the toughest of way on Friday night. You get the one-run win on Saturday in dramatic fashion. And then yesterday's a game that's so much different from the first two. I know it's tough to come out on the short end of the stick, but it felt like high-level, important baseball this weekend.
Yeah, no doubt. It was a regional environment. They do a great job down there at Lafayette. They're great facilities, great fan base. And we had a great group of our fans there. So it was fun. It was very competitive. The first two games were. And then, we ran out of some pitching and, couldn't really stop them on Sunday enough. So, but, Friday and Saturday, man, it was pretty epic. And, this close to winning, two of those. And that's what makes it tough.
So you strike first on Friday night, right? Get the infield single, and then Slade hits the big home run, and it gives you a 2-0 lead. And then Andrew Herman seemed to just really, really lock in. I guess there was one opportunity maybe in the fifth inning where you had a guy in scoring position, ended up with a couple of guys on base, but there just wasn't much offensively. What was different between that first inning and kind of the rest of the game offensively?
He made a mistake. He made a mistake and left an off-speed pitch up to Slade, and when it's tough to get it out of the park that night, and you had to get it down the line, either's line, which what both guys did, and he just made a mistake, left it up, an off-speed pitch up, and Slade hammered it. So, but then very efficient the rest of the way, and it was a really good pitcher's duel.
And then Billy, the job that he did on the mound, he gives you 7 innings, scatters 5 hits, gives up to 2 earned, struck out 10 and only walked 1, throws just over 100 pitches. Was that as good as he's been all season long?
Yeah, he was lights out, man. He was sharp, and those 2 earned. I mean, that's, that 8th inning starts off, he executes the exact pitch I want, a good fastball into their lefty that crams the plate, and just grazed him, hit by pitch, and then 2 strikes, shift on, and he, hits a fister that, dribbles over there to third base. Nothing you can do on that. So, and then the home run happened once we went to the bullpen. So, yeah, it was tough on him, but he pitched well, and then he did all he could to give us a chance to win.
And then on Saturday, you turn around after a tough one, and you take an early lead. You get a single run in the second. You get a single run in the third. They strike for 2 in the bottom of the 8th inning, and then you get a run in the top of the 9th for that 3-2 win. You're able to hold on there at the end with the bullpen.
Yeah, it was a great game. Again, Nico was outstanding as well. 7 shutout innings with, just I think only 1 walk, 3 hits. And, they scratch, for 2 in the 8th, tie it up, which was kind of demoralizing because you think about the 8th inning the night before.
Yeah.
And, but our guys stayed in there, and, we ended up striking out the side and won the ball game.
It was a different type-pitched game, though, wasn't it? So Nico, I mean, you had all the strikeouts on Friday night. He only strikes out 3. Was it a day where he was just good and kind of was able to live down in the zone and just eat up outs? Really was.
He pitched to contact, which I love him doing, and he maybe one ball hit hard, and that was in the first inning against him. And I'm not being exaggerated. I really mean that. I mean, a lot of, easy ground ball outs, pop-ups, whatever. I thought his fastball had a lot of giddy-up in life and was, kind of sawing them off, then adding off speed too. So, he was really good. He was very efficient.
Did you go into yesterday's game expecting it to be a different type game, an offensive day based on kind of what both teams had done on the mound the first couple of days and maybe knowing pitching was a little harder to come by?
I mean, yeah. I mean, we're short, with Armistead out, and and we knew we were going to have to piece it together, and and I knew it was going to be a bullpen game, and on Sundays, at least for us right now, we need to really swing the bats, and then our guys did. We just couldn't. We gave them a big inning, and that was it.
Yeah.
They got a big grand slam in the 3rd inning, and it was just hard to throttle them after that.
I don't think we've talked to you since I think it was after our show when the news broke about Armistead and kind of being out for the year. Maybe that was Tuesday of last week. How hard is that conversation and just that process to go through with a player who has worked so hard and it's not anything of their own doing.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, we knew it last Saturday that, and game he came off of against ULM, I knew it then. I could just tell by his reaction because he's not the type. He's very tough and to himself, and I could tell something wasn't right. And sure enough, you get the news that confirmed, a torn UCL. And you hate it, man. I hate it for him. And he helped us, win a regional and win a conference tournament last year and do those things. And a big part of this year thus far and would continue to be. And it's a tough loss, man, when you've lost him and McCarty and, and then another, one of our bullpen pieces out. That's just, nobody's going to feel sorry for you, and we just got to regroup. We need some guys to step up and, fill those roles.
I don't even know if this is the right reaction, but I feel like any time a pitcher has an injury now, we automatically assume the worst because the reaction is almost always the same, and you're like, "Ooh, elbow injury, that probably means Tommy John's coming." You've seen it before. You're going to see it again. Obviously, we're talking about it right now with Armistead. As a guy who's been around pitchers for so long, it feels like it's more common than it used to be. Do you look at travel ball and early usage on arms? Is there anything you can point to?
I think it's a combination of so many things. I really do. I think the game's evolving. Guys are throwing harder, more violent, earlier ages, and it is continuing up. I mean, the body's structure and composition is still the same as it always has been, but now we're just asking it to do more of a workload and more, more taxing to it, those elbows and shoulders, that something's got to give, man. I mean, everybody loves seeing the power and the spin and this and that, but at the same time, those shoulders and elbows can only withstand so much. And so I think some training and stuff like that can add to it a little bit too.
Do you think there's anything that we can do beyond pitching less that helps these guys? I mean, is there a training regiment that makes that, or is it just there are only so many bullets in the gun, and if you use it a lot, it's probably going to happen?
Well, I'll knock on wood here. Been doing the same type of pre-throw arm care, post-throw arm care plan design for the last 8 or 9 years, and we've been lucky. You know what I mean? I don't know. So I think there's times it's just coincidental. It's like you can have the best mechanics, the healthiest young man in the world that never had a problem, and boom, and you can have a guy with the ugliest mechanics, and and he never has an issue. Yeah. You just don't know. It's really. I wish there was. I know there's a lot of coaches out there that say the same thing. Wish it was a easier thing to pinpoint and predict.
Really big week coming up. 4 of them all at your place, UNO on Tuesday night, and then you got Coastal coming in this weekend. Obviously, that's a good program. It's a good team. And we're kind of getting late in the year, right? I mean, these wins, not that they don't count a lot all season long, but the opportunities are starting to run out.
No doubt. I mean, we got 11 left, and, it's important. And for us to, to try to achieve the goals this program sets before us, every year, we got to make some hay. I mean, we got to go out there and get some W's and, and do what we need to do. So it's every game's important, and we're just going to take it one at a time. It's just we got the most important game of the year is tomorrow, and that's what we're going to focus on, and then worry about the next one and so on. So it's really a simplistic approach at this point of the year, in my opinion, when you're in this position. And, just one pitch at a time, one inning at a time, one game at a time.
Last thing for you, Coach. You've seen most of the league at this point. If you haven't played teams, you've seen video of teams. How many teams does the Sun Belt deserve to get into the tournament when it all shakes out at the end? Is this, 3, 4, 5? What have you seen?
I mean, I'll be hard for me to believe. I mean, I think there's more than 4 that could, would be deserving. I don't think we will. But it definitely a conference that's deserving of 4 because they're just, other than Lafayette, man, everybody's kind of right there and they're all beating up on each other and, and stuff like that. So it's, you got to earn it. I mean, there's 9 more left for all of us and, there's a lot to be determined.
Yeah. Only 3 weeks, but a lot of baseball still and a lot that's going to get sorted out over those next 3 weeks. Coach, always appreciate your time. Good catching up.
All right. Thank you, man.